Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Emily Horler and I'm here with Jim Wadsworth of VocaLink. And we're at the close of Finextra's NextGen banking event at level 39. Thank you for joining me.
Good to meet you.
So what are your key takeaways from today?
Yeah, thanks. I think it's been a really good day. We heard from the government at the beginning of the day, from the Treasury specifically, talking about what a great success story we have in the UK in terms of the fintech sector that's grown here, and it's really world leading. We heard about the support that the government is providing to that competition and innovation that's going on in this market. For example, Treasury's ambition to have 15 new banks get licenses within this Parliament. We then heard from a bunch of folks, including VocaLink, of course, ourselves, talking about the importance of access to core payment systems and some of the things that are happening there. New services coming from people like VocaLink and other players to make access to faster payments easier. But tied to making access to faster payments better, also some of the constraints around access to settlement accounts of the Bank of England and the problems that can cause. Raffles Bank talked about what they're looking to do as becoming a sponsor to make that easier for challenger banks in particular, and that we strongly support, and it was good to see that. There was then a series of panel discussions through the day with talking about a bunch of different topics, whether it's corporate banking or SME banking or consumers. And I think a recurring theme through all of that, and that was whether you were hearing from challenger banks or from the big incumbent players, about the importance of real basic stuff like making sure you listen to what your customers are wanting, the opportunity for big banks and small guys to work, and the fintechs to work together to overcome those problems. So for example, from the perspective of a big incumbent bank, they've got lots of customers but lots of legacy systems, the time and effort it takes to make those systems work together, and how they can leverage really the great ideas and the capabilities coming forward from the fintech community to really serve the big bank customers better. But we absolutely also heard from various different challenger bank brands about their different propositions, how they're proposing to enter the market with, for example, mobile-led propositions, as well as, for example, Metro Bank, who already been in the market for a few years, who have a very traditional in some senses branch-led strategy, but where they're really majoring on great customer service. So a lot of themes around that. And then towards the end of the day, we had a good discussion about the coming regulation of PSD2, something which comes into force at the beginning of 2018, where I think very much about empowering consumers to be able to choose their banking services and move around better and all that sort of thing. And where the basic frameworks are now in place from a legislative viewpoint. But we heard a lot about the real challenges that yet to be resolved on things like security policies, liabilities on what might happen if things go wrong, and a really great story about how, whether it's again the big banks, the newer players, and the fintech community are working closely with regulators to really work through those challenges to get to an agreed position.
And what would you say the call to action is for banks that were here today?
Yeah, I think if you're a big incumbent bank, one of the big traditional players, I think strong messages around looking for and working with the great ideas and great technology that's coming forward from the fintech community and from the challenger bank community actually, to better serve the needs of their customers. And of course some of the big banks are absolutely doing that through investment in incubators, to encourage and to foster that innovation. From the perspective of the challenger bank community, it's really getting on with it. So Mondo were here, and it was today that they had a great success story with their crowdfunding round, raised $1 million in like 90 seconds, and I think that just shows the way. Get on with it.
Jim, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.